Hello and welcome to the news. I'm Dinesh Trentley bringing you today's headlines. The Chief Minister inaugurates CM Connect Centre, launches 146 crore rupee development projects in Sokyong. NEC strengthens project monitoring with technology, says Secretary. Nongkleo farmers face heavy losses as radish prices crash. Maulendep residents protest high electricity bills, erratic power supply. MEGHALAYA Nongrem goal seals Gotia Cup glory for Minerva Academy FC. Here's a look at the local news. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma inaugurated the CM Connect Centre at Sokyong CNRD block and laid the foundation stones for 9 development projects worth over 140 crore rupees, while dedicating 8 completed projects worth 5.48 crore rupees to the public. The initiatives include improvements in water supply, roads, tourism, education, sports, digital infrastructure and agriculture. During the CM Connect program, residents raised concerns over soil erosion, water scarcity, network connectivity, crop insurance and market infrastructure, to which the Chief Minister assured timely action and follow-up by the concerned departments.
As you already know that the CM Connect is a program, the CM Connect is an idea that the Chief Minister must connect with the grassroots, must connect with the people. And in order to connect governance with the people, we are using multiple channels. And therefore, whether it's the call center, whether it's a CM Connect program, which is what we're going to have after some time, or whether it is centers like these, where people can come and they can express their grievances out here. This center here is an online center. So there are agents out here who will be entering all the issues that have been mentioned here by Bajirwa. These will go straight to the different departments, and the different departments will then take up this matter, revert back to the center, and this center will then revert back to Bajirwa.
Northeastern Council Secretary S.K. Bhala said the council is using advanced technologies, including satellite imagery, mobile applications and artificial intelligence, to ensure projects are completed on time, maintain quality standards and prevent the misuse of funds. He said the project approval process has improved significantly over the past 12 years, resulting in a high completion rate. Bhala acknowledged challenges such as land availability and labour shortages, but expressed hope that peace will return to Manipur through dialogue, with the Government of India working to address the concerns of all stakeholders.
The guidelines under which we sanction projects has undergone immense improvements. Now, for the last 2-3 years, we have a concept of periodic inspections. Okay, we are leveraging technology also for monitoring the projects in real time. We have mobile apps through which we can capture pictures. We also make use of satellite imagery to capture maybe every 6 months or 8 months that location, whether something is happening on the ground or not. Very soon we will have a very long-term solution there, and I'm sure that people of Manipur would also come forward, because any, you can say, fighting or differences of opinion would always be there, but fighting is not a solution to any problem. Peaceful dialogue is the only way forward, and that is where Government of India is trying its level best.
Farmers in Nongkleo village of eastern West Khasi Hills have appealed for government intervention after the price of red radish plunged to just 2 to 4 rupees per kilogram leaving them with heavy financial losses. Many farmers were forced to dump their produce in the fields as transport and marketing costs exceeded returns. They also alleged unfair weight deductions by traders and urged the government to ensure fair pricing, saying a minimum rate of 10 to 15 rupees per kilogram would help them recover their cultivation costs. Residents of Maulendep village in Umyam have raised concerns over rising electricity bills and frequent power outages, urging the authorities to address the issue. Headman Jinu Karbuki said some consumers have received unusually high bills despite normal usage, while irregular power supply has disrupted daily life, especially for students. He also pointed to a shortage of electricity department staff and appealed to the concerned authorities to take immediate action to resolve the problems.
Matapa yang department balada kita di efektif meta kebalap daki mita dida sobha bantinti ditrayen nang bangirom nila play tintil yang dobat mai batkum juru lani ar ka jingtho apo kata rasmi ndai ban subu da lamsam ka pasihaja ka ar haja ka ba ka jingthang wat ka baduna bat sumha ka pinpe ki yengu nama ki yin jumi sinong undong ka bubun ki yin baret ki bathan wai bot bathan sapal.
The Meghalaya Filmmakers Association celebrated its 16th Foundation Day at the State Convention Centre by honouring the contributions of filmmakers, editors and makeup artists to the state's film industry. Speaking at the event, NEC Secretary S.K. Bhala said films reflect society and inspire positive change through storytelling. Association President Commander Shangpliang called for cinema halls in every district to improve access to films, create employment for youth and support the growth of Meghalaya's film industry while preserving its rich cultural heritage.
These are the people who help us understand the nitty-gritties of life, the pains, the good things or the things which need improvement or the bad things which society is facing. All those things are beautifully knitted in the form of short stories, movies, and that is where we learn a lot and we are in a position to connect ourselves with what we see on the screen. So obviously we have to find out avenues so that the real talent also keeps on getting acknowledged, and at the same time the power and the advantage of technology is also made available to people like us who want good content.
Mairang MLA Medba Lingdo inaugurated a new Dorbar Hall at Pundeng Domba village in eastern West Khasi Hills, built under the State Rural Welfare Programme scheme. The community hall will provide a dedicated venue for village meetings, public gatherings and other community activities. Speaking at the event, the MLA said the government is committed to ensuring the successful implementation of development projects and assured residents that he will continue working to bring more infrastructure and welfare initiatives to villages across Mairang constituency.
Lani taman super long program, mereka dan kata. Minum yang lalu Lega ski, but pulut por, lada kandong kador, jong kata kecing yalang. Hawarai kecing yalang, nak skin ki bapaya, nak persiap katara, ngadam noa sispa na sisparo, nak kumlo, ngadai ban persiap. Bakita kecing yalang, kini ban long pura, bandet ban complete, ya kita ki project, dari ki skin. Ungai tak sidang silia. Kadang non kilap kirenti, kibarang nakaliam cuma ngan yet, ngan tau, ngan wa, ngan persiap, bantun urlong yaki. Nakawe kapor, sakawe kapor, but nakawe snow, sakawe snow.
The West Jaintia District Sports Association felicitated former district sports officer Krubok Pasa for his outstanding contribution to sports development in West Jaintia Hills following his promotion as Assistant Director of Sports and Youth Affairs. During the farewell ceremony in July, Pasa highlighted key achievements including the district's success in the Subroto Cup, improvements to Kyang Nangba Stadium, and the successful hosting of the 6th Meghalaya Games. He urged sports officials and stakeholders to continue promoting sports as a pathway for youth development and employment.
Bon action, room jo em do function apa ini district lah, pengkai em biang ini. We go mem lah, the perni biang, perni i action di waktu me, di em apa ini district. Em do the wear pertu, thok lagi, kita lagi member, the em biang ini lagi. Curup kata orang tak, dari kerana wapi, member yang kata WDSA, dia itu pengkai ini kita i action ini lah. Tolak lutia kaman untuk igran uirap dekat biji borangnya di uirap untuk digasan andrai dok kiklok kicenong kitau nadok najan najangai we ngai jinglong yang ngai dia nandira o yoro kat wi.
The rich history of the Khasi people, their struggle for freedom and their journey towards democracy came alive on stage in Shillong through a powerful historical drama. Presented by the Sangeet Natak Academy in collaboration with Riti Academy of Visual Arts, the play Vande Mataram, a play of resistance, vision and democracy from the heart of the Khasi Hills, traced Meghalaya's inspiring journey from resistance to statehood. Here's our special report.
Of resistance, the strength of democracy, and the timeless legacy of the Khasi people came alive on stage in Shillong through a powerful historical production that captivated audiences and celebrated Meghalaya's remarkable journey through history. Presented by the Prangsngi Drama Club Shillong under the direction of Prangsngi Watlang, the historical drama was staged at Dorbar Hall, Jayashiap, Lompalan yesterday. The three-part drama transported viewers across defining chapters of Khasi history. The act recreated the courageous resistance of Utirat Singh and the Dorbar Hima, portraying their unwavering stand for justice, sovereignty, and the dignity of the Khasi people against colonial rule. The second chapter honored the visionary leadership of Reverend J.J.M. Nichols Roy, whose relentless efforts secured the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, ensuring constitutional protection for the land, identity and customary rights of the tribal communities of the Northeast.
The tribals of Northeast India should recognize that many of their constitutional rights and safeguards are protected under the 6th schedule of the Constitution of India. A visionary framework conceived and challenged by the very Reverend J.J.M. Nichols Roy himself before the Constituent Assembly.
The play also depicted the peaceful Hill State movement, highlighting the democratic struggle and culminated in the creation of Meghalaya and reflected the people's aspiration for self-governance, justice and constitutional recognition. Blending history with compelling performances, the production drew an overwhelming response from the audience, serving as a moving tribute to the sacrifices, resilience, and democratic values that continue to shape Meghalaya's identity. More than just a theoretical performance, Vande Mataram stood as a powerful reminder that the story of Meghalaya is one of courage, vision, and unity, an enduring legacy that continues to inspire future generations. Bureau Report, TT News, Meghalaya.
Chief Minister Conrad Sangma has announced a holiday for all schools and colleges in Meghalaya tomorrow to allow students and young football fans to watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 final between Spain and Argentina. He said football is a passion and way of life in Meghalaya, and the decision was taken so youngsters can enjoy the historic match which kicks off at 12:30 a.m. IST.
I have some good news, especially for our football lovers. Apart from the fact that Spain and Argentina have made it to the finals, I would like to inform all of you that I have decided that tomorrow, Monday, will be a holiday for all educational institutions, including schools and colleges. As we know that football is a passion and is a way of life in our state. And in order to allow our youngsters to truly enjoy it, we have come to this decision. Enjoy the finals and wish you all the very best.
3 people were injured after a local taxi collided head-on with a tourist vehicle near Umiam Bridge today morning. The injured, including both drivers, were taken to Negram's hospital for treatment. Police are investigating the cause of the accident. Let's now look at regional news. Manipur Chief Minister Yumnam Khemchand Singh participated in the 77th Van Mahotsav 2026 in Imphal, announcing that over 15 lakh saplings have been planted across the state under the Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam 3.0 campaign. He said the initiative is a major step towards environmental conservation and tackling climate change. The state also aims to plant 85 to 90 lakh saplings during the rainy season, while strengthening efforts to protect forests, conserve endangered wildlife, and promote community participation for a greener and more climate-resilient Manipur. Let's cross over to international news. The United States has launched fresh airstrikes against Iran following a drone and missile attack in Jordan that killed 2 American service members, left 1 missing and injured 4 others. The US military said the strikes targeted capabilities of Iran's Revolutionary Guard to weaken its ability to disrupt oil tanker traffic through the strategic Strait of Hormuz. The latest action marks further escalation in tensions after the first direct US troop deaths from Iranian fire since the conflict began. Let's now look at sports. Minerva Academy FC of India were crowned champions after edging Brazil's RS Sports Yellow 2-1 in a thrilling Gotia Cup final at Hedon 5 Nordic Wellness. Minerva took an early lead before the Brazilian side equalized to make it 1-1 by half-time. With the match heading towards a tense finish, MEGHALAYA struck the winning goal with just 2 minutes remaining to seal the title. The victory sparked jubilant celebrations among the players and the large contingent of Indian supporters, with Minerva completing an impressive tournament campaign to lift the prestigious trophy. PV Sindhu created history by becoming the first Indian to win the Japan Open Super 750 title after defeating home favourite Akane Yamaguchi 21-17, 21-17 in the women's singles final. Sindhu produced a dominant performance to overcome her long-time rival and claim her biggest BWF World Tour title since 2018. The straight game victory marked a significant milestone in her comeback and ended Yamaguchi's strong run on home soil, adding another major title to the Indian star's illustrious career.
Sindhu creates history. She is the first player from India in 2019. Welcome back to the big time. PV Sindhu. Steve, that was magnificent.
Yeah, it was. It's brewed up to it.
England claimed the bronze medal at the FIFA World Cup 2026 after defeating France 6-4 in a thrilling third-place playoff at the Miami Stadium. Bukayo Saka starred with a hat-trick, becoming only the second England player after Sir Geoff Hurst to achieve the feat in a World Cup knockout match. Kylian Mbappe scored twice for France to become the tournament's top scorer with 10 goals and set a new World Cup career scoring record with 22 goals. Meanwhile, Argentina and Spain will clash in the World Cup final tonight at the New York, New Jersey Stadium with kickoff at 12:30 a.m. IST. And now to the weather. First, let's look at the report in Tura, where the minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius and the maximum at 30 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity was 75%, with rainfall coming in at 9 millimeters. In Shillong, the minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius with a maximum at 23 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 80%. Rainfall was measured at 3 millimeters. Meanwhile, in Jawai, the minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius with a maximum at 23 degrees Celsius and relative humidity at 83%. Rainfall came in at 2 millimeters. The forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jawai say moderate rain with thunderstorm is likely at many places. And now for a quick recap of today's headlines. Chief Minister inaugurates CM Connect Centre, launches 146 crore rupee development projects in Soyong. NEC strengthens project monitoring with technology, says Secretary. Nongkleo farmers face heavy losses as radish prices crash. Maulindep residents protest high electricity bills, erratic power supply. And Mekham Nongrem goal seals Gothia Cup glory for Minerva Academy FC. And with that, we come to the end of today's news edition. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you same time tomorrow. Until then, take care.
चर्चा के द्वारा सब सहयोग करें.
President Draupadi Murmu today embarked on a three-nation visit to Moldova, North Macedonia and Romania. On the first leg of a visit, President Murmu will reach Moldova. This will be the first ever visit by an Indian president to Moldova and North Macedonia. During her visit, the president will meet and hold delegation-level talks with her counterpart Maya Sandu. In the second leg of the visit, President Murmu will be in North Macedonia from July 21st to July 22. In the final stretch of a three-nation tour, President Murmu will visit Romania from July 23rd to 25th.